And welcome back to GB News Live. So, former US President Donald Trump has touched down in Scotland aboard his private Boeing 757 jet, nicknamed Trump Force One, to a hair-raising landing. Well, not the landing, but certainly down the walk down the steps. Scottish wind 1, Trump hair lacquer 0. I think probably is the scoreline there. Anyway, he is now heading to a new controversial golf course at the Meany Estate in the north-east of Scotland, his second course in the country, which will be named Trump International Scotland. This is his first visit, of course, since leaving the White House, but follows closely the visit of Ron DeSantis, his Republican rival for the White House race in 2024. So is it political or sporting? Let's get more with our Scotland reporter, Tony McGuire, who witnessed the landing there at Aberdeen. And the Scottish breeze wasn't too kind for him, was it, when he's walking down those steps, Tony?
No, definitely not. In fact, you're saying that it's Scottish wind 1. I would imagine probably a hat-trick by the end of his visit here is on the cards for Donald Trump. So, yes, he arrived a little bit later than intended, it must be said. But I joined the press pack out on the tarmac. And about 30 reporters caught the moment when his entourage came out of the plane, and he was also joined by his son Eric. Now, Eric Trump has very close ties with Donald Trump's golf courses here in Scotland, and Donald Trump, it must be said, the 45th President of the United States, he has, he holds his courses here in quite high regard. So it wouldn't surprise me that even though if there was a bit of political action to his trip here, actually there will be a fair bit of sporting endeavour to be done here as well. Now, ever since Donald Trump has been facing some legal challenges in his native New York, he has still been managing to fit in more than a couple of rounds of golf, and it wouldn't surprise me that if he wanted to come to Scotland to see his courses in action, and of course open this all-important third course here in the northeast of Scotland. So it's up at the Meany Estate. It's quite controversial. A lot of people had campaigned against it, but certainly it's one of these parts of the world as a links course that golf is really quite a spectacular game compared to in the lowlands. Now, it didn't seem like Mr. Trump was followed by any other members of his family, but certainly when the entourage took off in their cars, there was about 10 SUVs leaving, and they, I would believe, are going straight to the golf course. So quite a touchdown for Donald Trump, as you said, with the wind catching his upper half off guard. But certainly it's the first time he's visited Scotland since before he became president. And we know that after a few days here, we don't know quite if he's going to go down to Ayrshire just yet for, of course, his Turnberry course down there. And then he's off to Ireland to kind of see one of his courses there. So speaking before, in the past, I have spoken to members of staff at Turnberry specifically, and whatever their political allegiances lay, they actually thought that the company, with the Trump resorts and Trump Turnberry in particular, the staff were treated well. Yeah. They were paid extremely well, and they did a lot of time for him. So it'll be an interesting trip for Mr. Trump, and we'll see if he can get a little bit of international campaigning in while he's here.
Yeah, of course, I mean, the controversy was attached to Turnberry as well when that came into play. As you say, obviously it does create local jobs, but obviously there are those who are a bit critical of the way that the planning process was approached and so on.
Yes, that's right, and in fact it kind of cuts both ways. Obviously at Turnberry there was some rather famous, shall we say, or infamous campaigning done to protest that course, but certainly on the other side, up in here in Aberdeen, there was a lot of planning for a wind farm to go in off the course, so there was kind of counter-protesting from the Trump camp, so that wasn't what golfers saw when they were teeing off at one of his prestige courses. So yeah, there is quite Scotland and Donald Trump's golf courses. It seems to be par for the course, for excuse the pun, but it seems to be that they kind of counter back and forth. It's just how things are done when Mr. Trump's name is thrown in the mix. But certainly this course, people are quite excited about it, and it's sure to offer golfers a whole new challenge up in the northeast.
Yeah, including, of course, President Trump, who we believe may be playing a round, even though the wind's not going to be that kind to him, of course, on the links course. But, Tony, thank you for that update in Aberdeen.